Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Science. So today in this content I am going to talk about the retrograde motion of Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. On 5th of December 2025, Jupiter is going to re-enter the sign of Gemini in its retrograde motion. And in this content I am going to talk about this with regards to all the 12 ascendant signs. Check it from your ascendant. Okay. Now, if I talk about the dates, then at this moment of time, as I'm making this content, Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer right now. But on 5th of December 2025, Jupiter will enter the sign of Gemini in its retrograde motion, and Jupiter will stay in the retrograde motion for straight 96 days. That means on 11th of March 2026, Jupiter will finally turn direct in Gemini. Then Jupiter will move forward, and finally on 2nd of June 2026, Jupiter will again re-enter its exaltation sign Cancer. During this particular retrograde motion of Jupiter, Jupiter will be retrograde in the Punarvasu nakshatra. At this moment of time also, Jupiter is in the last pada or the fourth pada of Punarvasu nakshatra. And if you check the ephemeris, then you will get to know that in the sign of Gemini also, that whole span of 96 days, Jupiter will be in the retrograde motion in the Punarvasu nakshatra itself. In fact, on 11th of March 2026, when Jupiter turns direct, it will be direct in the first pada of Punarvasu nakshatra. If I talk about this particular nakshatra, it's a very beautiful nakshatra. It signifies abundance because the deity which is associated with Punarvasu nakshatra is goddess Aditi. The key theme regarding this particular nakshatra is nurturing, abundance. Now, when we are talking about Jupiter, Jupiter also signifies abundance. Jupiter also signifies the space element. Goddess Aditi also signifies the space element. Now, since the nakshatra starts in the sign of Gemini, which happens to be the third house of the natural zodiac, and the last pada of the nakshatra happens to be in the sign of Cancer. So this means this nakshatra has the power where we can apply our efforts and we can gain whatever we want. So this also signifies revival, rebirth. And since Jupiter is retrograde, so I can say one thing, that this retrograde motion in the sign of Gemini in the Punarvasu nakshatra will also signify light after the confusion. Any kind of dilemma you are going through, any kind of confusion you are going through, there will be some positive outcome after that. Some revival, some rebirth. Any kind of transformational phase you are going through. Now it will depend upon which house the sign Gemini lies in your chart. Depending upon that. But it's a very beautiful nakshatra, I am going to say. One more important thing here is that in the Vimsattari Dasa scheme, the planet which is associated with the Punarvasu nakshatra happens to be Jupiter. And Jupiter is now retrograding in the sign of Gemini. It is going to retrograde in the Punarvasu nakshatra. So this becomes very important, particularly for the people who are going through the Dasa of Jupiter, Dasa of Mercury for that sake, because Mercury rules the sign of Gemini, or any planet which is posited in the Punarvasu nakshatra or in the sign of Gemini, if you can say. Their Dasa you are going through, suppose, and now Jupiter is moving in the retrograde motion through the Punarvasu nakshatra in the sign of Gemini. Means you can take the whole sign of Gemini also in that case. Like suppose any nakshatra you can take, like suppose Adra. Okay, suppose you are going through the Dasa of Mars, which is posited in the Adra nakshatra. Suppose in your chart, and Adra happens to be in the core of the sign of Gemini. Now since the sign of Gemini will be impacted, So you can take that also. Okay, you can specify that also. Means suppose someone will say that what if I have a planet in Mirasira in the sign of Gemini. So you don't get confused. If it is happening in the Punarvasu nakshatra, suppose a planet is posited in the Punarvasu nakshatra, then the impact will be even more. And suppose even if it is anywhere in the sign of Gemini, for that also I would say that you will definitely experience the results regarding that particular planet, that particular house, because Jupiter will be aspecting the sign of Libra by its fifth aspect, the sign of Sagittarius by its seventh aspect, the sign of Aquarius by its ninth aspect. So one or more multiple houses are going to get impacted due to this transit of Jupiter in the retrograde motion. So wheresoever these houses are there in your chart, wheresoever, you will see that many things are changing. Many things are changing. Now depending upon your dasa, suppose you are going through any favorable dasa, then obviously the results will be very good. Okay, so it depends upon our own particular horoscope. Now since I talked about the aspects, one more important thing I will definitely add over here, that since Jupiter is demoted back into the sign of Gemini, demotion means here, since Jupiter is jumping back from Cancer to Gemini in the backward motion, in the retrograde motion, so we call it demotion, some kind of demoted form. So here we will see the aspects of Jupiter from the sign of Gemini only, not from the previous sign. Whenever a planet gets demoted, we don't check the aspects from the previous sign. And what is the previous sign of Gemini? Taurus. We will not check from Taurus. We will not do that. We will check it solely from Gemini. The fifth aspect, seventh aspect, and ninth aspect of Jupiter. That is the sign of Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. From Gemini. Okay, this is very important. Like suppose someone will say that, oh, you know the planet is retrograde, so you have to check from the previous sign. Don't do that, because you will not get the result from like that. Okay, it becomes very important. And if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new content, you get notified instantly. And if you want a consultation from me, that is one-on-one consultation with respect to your own horoscope, then check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. If you like this content, press the like button and share it to your near and dear ones. So now let us start for all the 12 ascendant signs. Check it from your ascendant. Okay. For the Aries ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your third house in the sign of Gemini. This retrograde motion of Jupiter is very good transit for the Aries ascendant people in the third house, because it will definitely improve your confidence level, your social surrounding will be expanded, and you will also see that you are getting a good chance, in fact like a second chance, in order to mend the communication skills or any kind of miscommunications or indifferences or some kind of conflicts which might had happened in the past few months, and now you are going to get a second chance to put an effort to make the things right, particularly the people in your daily contacts, in your surroundings. It can be related to your friends, your close circles, among the people in your neighborhood, or cousins or siblings. You will also see that any conflict or any matter on the family matter, particularly with respect to cousins or siblings in the past, will all of a sudden revive, but it will go towards resolution. You will be able to resolve it, but solely it will be with respect to your own efforts, because third house is the house of efforts. But here Jupiter will ensure that you will have the confidence in order to communicate, because here Jupiter will bless you with respect to all those things. You will see that your intellectual bent of mind will be much more innovative than before. So you will be able to find answers to many pursuits, particularly literary pursuits. I'm talking about that intellectual pursuits. Like suppose you are working on any project or any work, you will be not only getting good ideas and wisdom, but also you will see that the people among whom you are working, they are also supporting you through their own wisdom, through their own philosophical ideas. So this will make a very good bonding between you and your network circle, and definitely this will open the gates of multiple gains in your life, particularly the people who are into like some kind of their own business, entrepreneurship, or self employment. With respect to job and work, also, I will say one thing, that they will be able to work more calmly, and their efforts, their work will be solely driven by intellectual ideas. It will be driven by discussion. So this is also a very good time of journaling. It is also a very good time to discuss the problems, and automatically you will get the answers to it. You will see that during this particular time, any delayed plans related to travel, related to some kind of explorations, or related to starting of any new work will be succeeded. So you will be able to work on all those things. With respect to your own personal behavior, I will say that this will make you very much broad minded. You will be very generous and tolerant to many effects on your personality or in the personal environment, I would say. But one thing I will say, that since Jupiter is transiting in the third house, and Jupiter is a natural benefic planet, so one thing is to be taken care of is that, suppose if you are not sure of any work or not sure of any project, please do not take it. Otherwise, what will happen, that suppose if you are not able to fulfill the wishes or fulfill the work according to the wishes of people, then that can lead to problems between you and those people, because there can be a misunderstanding and conflicts which can take a lot more time to resolve. Because it might also happen that people may make use or misuse your benevolence, because that is what can indicate, that what can be indicated from the transit of Jupiter in the third house. But definitely when it comes to explorations, travels, learning, particularly the people who are associated with writing, reading, any kind of non-verbal things, like it can be publishing also, media, journalism, communication sector, social media. In all those sectors, you will see the people who are working, they will be doing very good. They can also make avail or use of any lost opportunity in the past with respect to media, journalism, or suppose someone is working through social media, because see, nowadays many things are associated with social media. So in all those sectors you will be able to do really good. And for the students, I would say, the people who are thinking to start any higher education, they will also be able to put their efforts in good regards, I would say. One more thing I will here add is that this is a very good time for marriage prospects, and the people who are thinking to get into a relationship or thinking about marriage. So for them also, I would say that this is a time when they might get some proposals. And with that respect, I will also say that any past matter which could have been a problem between you and your partner will also be resolved during this particular time. The communication will be far more improved than before. Okay, so this is a very good transit in all those sectors, I would say. One more thing is that since it is in the third house, and third house is 11th from the fifth house, so this is also a time that you can invest something in the name of your children, because I can see gains for the children is indicated by this transit. Okay, so in all those sectors, this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. Another thing is that during this particular time, you will also see that health of father, you have to be very careful regarding the health of your father, because third house is the maraka sthan for the ninth house, and ninth house is father. So during this particular time, you need to take care regarding the health of your father. Yes, there can be some initial conflicts or initial indifferences between the viewpoints of you and your father with respect to your own work, with respect to your own efforts. Okay, there can be some mismatch of opinions, but I would say that it will also get resolved with time. Okay, so just put on your hard work, just put on your right viewpoints, and you will see the results will be really good. You might also get some ideas from your mentors, from your guides, and it can be at the spiritual level also. Okay, so the people who are particularly into reading and writing sector, they will do really good. So this is also a time to start going into scriptures or journaling or writing down your ideas. That will be really very good for all the Aries ascendant people, so make the most out of it. For the Taurus ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your second house, and I will say that normally the transit of Jupiter in the second house is considered very good. And here, Jupiter is not only retrograde, it is coming back from the third house, that is the sign of Cancer, and re entering the sign of Gemini, which is your second house. So that means it will activate all the matters of second house for the good. So I will say that during this particular time, any matter related to money, it can be related to any money which was stuck, or any wealth related matter which was not moving, or it can be related to any payment which was not received, or anything which was not obtained but you are putting your efforts in order to get it. All those matter will be cleared up. So your past dues will be cleared up, your payments will be received, and any wealth related matters will also be cleared up. Now since Jupiter happens to be your eighth lord, any matter related to inherited wealth or inherited property or any kind of possessions will also get activated, or it might also get cleared up depending upon your dasa. But that is what I can see from the transits. Okay, so in this regard, this is really going to give you very good results. Now with respect to the second house, I will say that for any native related to this Taurus ascendant horoscope, I will say that this is a very good time to acquire money, domestic happiness, or gains of wealth and commodities with respect to your possessions. Now it can be related to any help from your family members or like elders of the family, or you might feel that the environment, the family environment is getting much more better with respect to happiness, luxury, comforts. Now, since Jupiter here is the eighth lord and aspecting the sixth house, you will also see that during this particular time, you are able to curb down your enemies, you are able to curb down your competitors and rivals, because you are going to get support from your nearby people, your near and dear ones. The people who are thinking of family planning, the people who are thinking of getting into like birth of a child, for them I will say it is a very good transit, because birth of a child is indicated with respect to this particular transit. Now Jupiter will be aspecting your 10th house also, with which signifies career, your position. So I can see some new position or status with respect to your work and career is in. So any pending promotion or any pending appreciation or appraisal can also be seen during this particular time. So with respect to your work and money, this is a very good transit, I would say. Now since Jupiter happens to your 11th lord, now 11th lord is fulfillment of desires, incoming of wealth. So here Jupiter will activate multiple source of income. So if you concentrate properly, if you work properly, this is a very good time to gain money, increase also your increase of your spiritual standards. Because you see, this is a very peculiar type of transit where Jupiter signifies your 8th house, which is the house of spirituality. 8th house is also a house of moksha trikon. Jupiter also is the ruler of your 11th house, which is a Kama Trikon house. Two extremes, I would say. And second house is the house where we are talking about the Artha Trikon. It is a part of Artha Trikon. It is the significator of wealth, the second house. Okay. So second house balances these two things, because Jupiter is aspecting the 8th house and Jupiter is also signifying wealth. So material prosperity, spiritual prosperity, both at the same time working for you. Now, suppose you want to make any changes with respect to your possessions, resources, money, or money related matter, or suppose with respect to your family or family property, this is a very good time to discuss with your family members and make a good outcome out of it. So this is also a very good time to make some philosophical or ideological changes with respect to investments, because you can research through it and then you can get good results out of it. Okay. I can also see that comforts and pleasures with respect to your family life will be on your own command. Now why I say it, because here Jupiter, since it is the planet of expansion, you will see that you are becoming the center of attention in your family. So you are like the person where everyone will be attracted to, because they will know that this is the person who has answered to every problem. So you are having much more wisdom with respect to the present situation. So many things will be according to your own command. So very good time for luxury comforts at your home, I would say. And I can also see that you might also get into buying or purchasing of any kind of things which can be good for your family possessions, or it can be related to gold or jewelry also. Okay, so these are the things which are going to give you very good results. So that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. For the Gemini ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your first house in the sign of Gemini. Now, this transit of Jupiter becomes very important for all the Gemini ascendant people, because, first of all, Jupiter gets directional strength in the first house, in the ascendant. And this is not a normal retrograde, because here Jupiter is retrograde from the sign of Cancer, that is your second house, back into the first house. So all the pending matters related to the first house will be cleared very fast, because that is what Jupiter is indicating. So this is like a major cycle of growth in your life, I would say. Now, since Jupiter is activating your first house, so one thing I will definitely say, that do not exaggerate your importance too much. Okay, because here Jupiter is retrograde, so it will definitely target your ego. This is a time of reinventing yourself, reconciling or retrospecting your own choices, your decision making, because maybe in the past certain things have been there, certain decision making had been taken, or related to your own lifestyle, your punctuality, your sincerity, your discipline. Here Jupiter will bring out all those matters in front of you and ask you that, okay, you rectify all these things, the things will be in your favor. Now if you are able to change the things for the good, then it will be highly beneficial for you. But suppose if you are not ready for the change for the good, then the same retrograde Jupiter will also challenge you with respect to your own ego. So this can be a time of ego reset also, depending upon our own free will. Okay, here free will be very important. Okay, because since it is a matter of second chance, that means it is a matter of choice, that whether we are able to focus more for the better or not. But definitely I will say that all these things which are going to happen, and if you are ready to make the things better, then it is definitely going to give you very good results. One more important thing is that since Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, optimism, light, this transit of Jupiter will be a time of new experience and a very good time of learning, because you see, Jupiter is activating your Dharma Trikon, that is the first house, fifth house, and ninth house. 1, 5, 9 houses are getting activated because Jupiter is transiting in the first house and aspecting your fifth house and ninth house. Okay, so the people who are associated with learning, education, or who are ready to learn new things, ready to explore new things, or who are ready to explore their creative skill set, talent, and any kind of hobbies or intellectual ideas, for them this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial, more important, because Jupiter is your 10th lord. So 10th house is your career, your position, your status. So that means this transit of Jupiter, if you are ready to learn new things, if you are ready to think about your mistakes and rectify it and go forward for the good, for the positive outcome, then this particular transit of Jupiter is not only going to give you good results with respect to your personal life, but also of your life in your public, that is your work. Your public image will also improve, your work will improve, you will learn new things, and you will be able to go forward your mistakes. Now, during this particular time, you will also see that you are getting help from others. Okay, because Jupiter happens to be your seventh lord also. So here you will also get some good ideas, philosophical ideas, particularly proper wisdom and help support from others. So this is also a very good time to mend your bonding between you and your partner. So this is also a time when you might get proposals for relationship or marriage. Very good time to get into a married life, I would say. Any past matters between you and your partner, particularly I'm talking about here personal life, means your marriage partner or your in your relationship I'm talking about. If any past matters had been there, will be resolved, any conflicts will be resolved, so your communication skill will improve, the understanding level will improve. Okay, this is also a very good time for the couples to get into family planning, or if you are thinking about childbirth, for them also I will say that this is a very good time for the birth of a child. Okay. Long distance travel and higher education is also seen. Religious pursuits are seen. If you are interested, you can get into uh, ancient scriptures, go through it, learn new things, and also discuss many things related to wisdom, spirituality with your mentors, with your guides, with your guru. And you will also get help from your guru, from your father. Okay. Very good time to get into intellectual pursuits with respect to your own creativity, creative skill set. You will be able to use it through your work. So the people who are solely working on their own skills, creative skills, or those who are self-employed, for them I will say it is a very good time. So on many aspects, this particular transit of Jupiter is going to give you very good results. So I will say that during this particular time, you should be very careful that you don't misuse it. And that is the reason I said that don't exaggerate too much about oneself, because otherwise it might happen that at times you might feel that that selfish nature or that ego reset is coming. Okay. In that case, what will happen? The things might not be that much well. So make the most out of it. That's it for the Gemini ascendant. For the Cancer ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your 12th house in the sign of Gemini. This transit of Jupiter indicates that it is a very good time for learning, spirituality, and religious pursuits. Since Jupiter happens to be your ninth lord and it is transiting in the 12th house in the retrograde mode, this particular transit of Jupiter indicates that you will be able to get help from your guides, mentors, guru, preceptor in any form. This is also a time like pilgrimage or moving into the guidance of guru, mentor, guides, and any form of spiritual learning, religious pursuits will be highly beneficial during this particular time. I would say that you should definitely devote this particular transit of Jupiter with respect to spiritual learning, or means you can say that where your subconscious mind is getting the answers to many puzzles or many things which are going through your thought process, you will be able to find the answers to it. That also with respect to your solitude and isolation. More you are getting into solitude, more you are getting into that free space, your mind will work more better, and that will be really helpful with respect to your own personal life, your own peace of mind. This particular transit is also beneficial with respect to metaphysical knowledge, occult sciences, and if you are thinking to getting into those kind of studies, in all those respect, this transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. The people who are going into any deep study or research oriented work, for them also this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. Now, suppose if you are materialistically inclined, or if you are thinking that okay, to use this transit of Jupiter in the material living, then I will say that this particular transit of Jupiter can, means you won't be able to make the most out of it, I would say, because the same Jupiter can also create lots and lots of expenditures. Okay, during this particular time, so I will also recommend that you should also manage your budget, you should also manage your finances during this particular time with respect to the all the people of the Cancer ascendant people, I would say, because there can be like some arrogance working regarding expenditure spending, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Okay, so wherever it transits, it expands the things. So at times you might feel that okay, what happens if I do this, what happens if I do that, so this kind of things can happen. Another thing is that this transit of Jupiter can also activate any matter related to litigation, any matter related to legal issues or something like that. So there can be expenditures regarding those matters also. Or you can say that during this particular time, you will be able to identify the rivals, competitors, or enemies. Hidden enemies will be exposed during this particular transit. Okay. Uh, One more thing is that Since Jupiter is a natural benefic planet, it is transiting in the 12th house. This also indicates that at the subconscious level, there will be peace of mind. So there will be rest. So you'll be able to have a proper rest or sleep. Your sleeping schedule will improve. So this can also improve your spiritual discipline. Okay, so that becomes a very important part. Now, I can also see that the people who are going through any kind of health issues, their health issues will be good. It will get into resolution, it will resolve, but initially that can revive. The health issues can revive all of a sudden. Okay, so I can see chances of like getting into like hospital care or medical facilities or medical care. I can see those kind of things happening. And with respect to spiritual well-being, I will say that this is also a time to getting into like healing therapies. Okay, so those kind of things can also be seen during this particular transit of Jupiter. With respect to your homely matters, domestic matters, this aspect of Jupiter in the fourth house will be beneficial with respect to your domestic happiness and domestic peace is concerned. But one thing is sure is that moving away from home or going into foreign places or like moving away from near and dear ones can also be seen. But with that respect, I will also add with respect to work. Now this is with respect to work. Any foreign links will be activated or any lost opportunity with respect to faraway lands will get activated, so you will be able to expand your work in some foreign places or with like people who are living far away from you. Okay, so in all those regards this particular transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial. And for the students or the people who are associated with teaching and learning, and those who are thinking of going into some foreign places or far away places for higher learning, for them also this particular transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial. So that's it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your 11th house, and normally the retrograde transit of Jupiter in the 11th house is normally considered very good. And here Jupiter is coming back from the 12th house, that is the sign of Cancer, coming back from the sign of Cancer into the sign of Gemini in your 11th house. So this is even more better because any matter related to your 11th house will be now succeeded. Okay, so for all the Leo ascendant people, I would say that this transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. Now, this will be with respect to your gains, with respect to your fulfillment of desires, your wealth, your achievements are concerned. Jupiter will expand the sources of wealth, money, and gains in your life. Particularly since Jupiter is retrograde, so you can understand one thing that anything related to your gains, wealth, achievements, which was pending, which was not achieved, but you are putting constant effort on it, you will be able to get it. All of a sudden, you will see that those achievements are coming in your life. So in all those regards, this particular transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial. Particularly, you will feel that you are able to achieve new heights. Particularly, means you can say with respect to social recognition is concerned, your career, your work. Okay, in all those sectors, you will see that some good news are waiting in your life during this particular transit of Jupiter. Now that will also depend upon our own dasa, but that is what I can see from the transit. Now, since Jupiter is transiting in the 11th house and it is also activating the 5th house, it is aspecting the 5th house. The people who are thinking about family planning, the couples who are thinking about birth of a child, for them I will say that it is a very good time because Jupiter is activating the 5th house and it is a very good time for family planning and birth of a child. Okay, so very good time I will say with respect to that. And also with respect to your children, I will say that this particular time of Jupiter transit is going to be highly beneficial because matters related to children will resolve. You will get some good news regarding your children, and the bonding between you and your children will also be better. Okay, this is since overall happiness is there, this will also enhance family happiness, good health, because 11th house is the house of gains, so it will also improve your health. Another thing is that Since 11th house is also gain of any luxury items, okay, and Jupiter signifies gold or anything very precious. So you will be also having the possessions, or suppose you might feel to purchase new things. Okay, it can be related to luxury items or anything, pleasures in your life, comforts in your life. Okay, so overall I will say this is a time of getting promoted in your life. Okay, it can be with respect to work also, or it can be with respect to social environment also, respect and prosperity. Jupiter will be impacting your third house and seventh house. So, social communication will improve and social recognition will improve, and that will also bring you forth towards marriage prospects. So, the people who are thinking to get into a relationship or married life, for them it is a very good time where they can get into marriage proposals, or a very good time to get into married life. Okay, so any matter related to marriage, the people who are already into married life or relationship, for them also I will say this is a very good time to mend your bonding, improve your communications, and this is like a second chance to rectify any matters in the past which could have been the reason for conflicts, indifferences, or misunderstandings. All those things will be cleared up. So in all those regards, transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial for the Leo ascendant people. Now, since Jupiter expands the place where it transits, now since Jupiter is transiting in the 11th house is also the house of friends, network circle, close circles. Okay, the people with whom you work, the people with whom you just spend your time, particularly in the public life. Okay, so this is also a time of cooperation. So do not work alone. Okay, take the cooperation, and also do not hesitate to cooperate, because you will see that you will be getting wisdom and philosophical ideas from your network circle, from your friends. So at the same time you will also see that your works are getting done, and your own workload is getting somehow decreased. So do not hesitate to cooperate them also. So in all those regards I will say, if you follow these things, then it will be highly beneficial for the all the Leo ascendant people. So now since I said that do not work alone, or since I also say that cooperate others, so this also indicates that do not get into that selfish mode, because since you will feel that the things are getting done easily, or things are happening very easily. So don't get into that ego mode, or don't get into that selfish mode. Okay, because that social cooperation will be not only beneficial now, it will also be beneficial later on. Okay, because that is how your social recognition will improve. um, One more thing is that any matter related to inherited wealth, any matter related to joint assets, or shared resources, or regarding your creativity, your creative talent, your hobbies, your skill set, or anything which you are good at and you are working on it. It can be regarding your self employment, it can be regarding any kind of work where you need to connect with multiple people with respect to your creativity. In all those sectors you are going to get gains, you are going to get recognition. So just work on all these things. The people who are associated with any kind of work related to speculation, like share market, stock market, or anything where there is some amount of speculation, it can be uh, media, or like film theaters or movies, whatever it can be, or any matter where there can be a chance of probability, possibility, or speculation. In all those sectors sudden gains are expected because of this transit of Jupiter in the 11th house in the retrograde mode. Okay, so make the most out of it. That's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, the transit of Jupiter is happening in the 10th house in the retrograde mode. So, 10th house is the house of our status, our career, our work, our name, fame, reputation, our employers, superiors, authorities, government. It's basically our public life. So, it's a very important transit of Jupiter, that also in the retrograde mode for the all Virgo ascendant people. This is a transit which will directly impact your profession, your career, your social status. So during this particular transit, I will say, since Jupiter is retrograde, so it's become very important that you should have reasonable efforts And also you should have like proper cautions with respect to your work, and only that will take you to that considerable progress. Because suppose you are getting too much dominant, you are getting that into arrogant attitude, or suppose you are getting into that ego matters, then it can definitely lead you to troubles with your superiors, with your authorities, and it can also create problems with at your work level, because um, that can really harm the position at which you are working. One more thing here is that since Jupiter is retrograde, every little work, every little thing, small thing will be accounted for. So you might also feel that you are going to get confronted every time with your employers, with your superiors and authorities. With respect to government also, I will say during this particular time you should be very much adhered to principles, rules and regulations. Okay, this particular transit of Jupiter also indicates that any past matters related to work or opportunities, you might get it. Okay, like suppose any opportunity from your previous employers, previous organization, all of a sudden you might get it. Okay, but at your present organization, at your present situation, there will be increase of duty and responsibility. In fact, every work will be taken into account very minutely. So you should be very much critical regarding your work. It should be taken care of very crucially. Okay, since Jupiter is retrograde here in the 10th house, one more thing I will say that with respect to your children, take care regarding the health of your children. There can all of a sudden be some health issues regarding your children or anyone in your nearby surrounding, particularly means it can be related to anyone in your daily contacts or the people with whom you just you are meeting every day. Okay, so you might feel that their responsibilities are coming on your shoulder also. At your domestic position, I will say that during this particular time I can see some matters coming on your shoulder, some matters becoming very much to focus on, that can be related to domestic peace, that can be related to domestic, like any health of the people in your at your home. Okay, or it can be related to change of place also. Okay, some kind of change of place or some kind of quarrels are going on and you are having the responsibility to make sure that you are taking care of it. So you have to have that calm and peaceful mind. So, and that also with respect to proper moral and ethical way of doing your work, because 10th house is also the house of work and karma. Karma means in any form. Okay, I will say. And at the same time, maintain that ego, maintain that form of that calmness within you, that you don't get into that egoistic way of behaving with others. Okay, otherwise the things might get really difficult. So you have to also make sure that even if the things are not according to your will and wish, you have to work on it very calmly. See, if you see it properly, then this particular transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial when Jupiter turns direct. Because whatever work you are doing, whatever hard work you are doing, that will not go unseen. Because Jupiter will make sure that it will be taken into account. And since it will be taken into account, so now this is the time to make it counted for. So don't take it as a transit that okay, everything will be checked upon, everything will be confronted. So don't think about that, you just do your work. Because I can also see that at times you might also feel that your co-workers, your colleagues are not supporting you, or there can be some work like politics going on, or backbiting is going on. So you might also feel that you are getting troubled by the people who are thinking you as a competitor or a rival. Okay, so this is also a time that you do not share your secrets, you do not share your documents to the people who are not required to know about it. So with time you will see that this same transit of Jupiter in the retrograde motion in your 10th house will be giving you very good results. See, initially I can give you some good words, some buttering, some sweet coated words that the things will be so good. Oh, Jupiter is transiting in the 10th house and all. But the truth is what it is, okay? So, because ultimately you are going to face it. So that is what I can say, that initially there will be all these things, but later on, as the time goes on, the same Jupiter will perform very good and it will give you very good results. So that's it for the Virgo ascendant people. For the Libra ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your ninth house in the sign of Gemini. I will say that this transit of Jupiter in the ninth house is very good transit for the all Libra ascendant people. This is a transit of luck, fortune, prosperity, and prestige in your social surrounding, because this Jupiter will ensure that you will have the wisdom, you will have that philosophical idea, knowledge, spiritual knowledge, particularly, and you will also get guided by your mentors, your guides. This is a time of harmony, abundance, and also guidance, I will say, because any matter which was really disturbing you, that okay, I'm not getting the solution for that, you will get the solutions in your life in with respect to any matter, with respect to materialistic living, with respect to spiritual living. So this is also a time to take the power of divinity and use it for your good. So this is a very good transit for Jupiter for all the Libra ascendant people to make use of spiritual knowledge, religious knowledge, going through the religious customs, rituals, okay, particularly the ancient scriptures. Suppose you want to get connected with your guru or get connected with the ancient knowledge, then this is a very good time when you will be able to go through it, and you will see that this will not only expand your personality but also your knowledge, your wisdom, and you will be the center of attraction, because this will definitely improve your aura, your charisma with respect to your own knowledge, your own presence in the social environment. Since Jupiter is transiting in the ninth house, this will also improve the luck and fortune with respect to your bonding, your relationship, means your closed ones, your partner, and finally, since it is in the happening in the ninth house, so you will be also focused regarding your aims, objectives, and ambitions in your life. Here, one more thing I will say, that Jupiter will expand your thought process, your mind. So this will be also a very good time for improving your own life choices, your deeds, and your sincerity, discipline, punctuality, and your own means like inventing yourself. Okay, I will also say that Jupiter here will also improve your creative skill set, your knowledge. The people who are associated with any kind of work related to spirituality, creativity, okay, or it can be related to healing also, okay, knowledge, teaching, education, or anything related to like literary pursuits, reading, writing, means where they need to communicate with other people, they need to discuss the knowledge with other people. In all those sectors, this particular transit of Jupiter will be highly beneficial. The people who are into self employment in any form, okay, directly or indirectly, they are suppose working in their own way of knowledge or creativity, in all those sectors they will have gains through their work, through their efforts and actions. So in all those sectors I can see some good results coming up. You will be able to have a proper bonding between you and your father, your elders of your family, and mentors, guides, guru, or father figure, I would say, particularly. So going to get good guidance from them, okay, following their guidance, so it will directly strengthen your ethics, your morality, your spiritual knowledge, your belief system. Yes, one thing you need to be very careful, that since Jupiter is retrograde, on certain matters you might get very much adamant regarding your belief system, regarding your spiritual knowledge, regarding your own way of seeing the life, okay. So in all those respect, I would say that you should be careful regarding this particular transit. Otherwise, there can be some kind of arguments or conflicts, because it will be affecting your third house of communication also. So your communicative skills should reflect the light, should reflect the positivity and optimism. It should not get into some kind of conflicts or arguments. Okay, so these are the most important things. Another thing is that since ninth house is also the house of philosophy, metaphysics, religion, law, higher knowledge, higher education. So the people who are associated with any kind of studies regarding all those things, for them it is a very good time. The students who are going through learning higher knowledge, or it can be related to law, legal studies, metaphysical knowledge, metaphysical astrology also, or occult sciences also, I will say. It is a very good time. Okay, there can be spiritual pursuits, religious travels, long distance travels with respect to education is concerned. So in all those sectors, this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. Like suppose it can be related to foreign travel also and correspondence also. Okay, like suppose you are having a business contract in some faraway places and you need to expand your work, or you need to visit that place. In all those ways, this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. You will see that it is a time of awakening, it is a time of spiritual broadening of your mind. Okay, so many answers, many solutions in your day-to-day life you will get during this transit. So make the most out of it. That's it for the Libra ascendant people. For this Scorpio ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your 8th house in the sign of Gemini. Now, this transit of Jupiter will definitely be a time of like clearing off your emotional baggage, like a mental detox, I would say, or like you can say that since it is happening in the Punarvasu nakshatra, so moving towards light after the confusion, after the dilemma. Okay, so initially there can be some kind of anxiety or frustration. All of a sudden, you are going to get the solution for all those matters. Okay, it can be related to your family, it can be related to your money, property, prosperity, or your own creativity regarding your children, whatever it is. Okay, all of a sudden, you will see that okay, the solutions are coming, the things are going right. Okay, so in all those sectors, this same transit of Jupiter for the Scorpio ascendant people in the 8th house will be highly beneficial. I can also see that any matter related to inheritance, or any matter related to shared resources, joint assets, which was stuck, which was not giving you good results in the past, all of a sudden all those matter might get activated and you might get a solution for that. It will move forward and certainly it will move towards success. Okay, that is what I can see from this transit. uh, you will be definitely getting gains and benefited from the people's resources, means the people with whom you are working. It can be with respect to your business partners or collaborators or contract holders or something like that. It can be with respect to your own personal life also, like it can be like with from your partners support or partner's wealth. Okay, like he or she might be helping you out in your work, in your business. Okay, so there will be a mental and financial support all around, I will say, during this particular time. So very good time to get into joint ventures, resources, or business or partnership. Now, with respect to personal life also, I will say, now this is particularly for the people who are thinking to get into a bonding or relationship or collaborations, because if they get into those, then they are going to definitely get help from their partner, from their collaborators or something like that. Now this is with respect to the people who are thinking to get into a married life or relationship, because normally people will think that that is seen from the 7th house, but we have to understand that 8th house is the married life. 8th house is the duties and responsibilities of a partnership relationship. So suppose if you are thinking to get into a partnership in your personal life or professional life, you are definitely going to get help and support from your partner with respect to money, with respect to emotions and mind is concerned. But at the same time, since it is the duties and responsibilities, so you also will need to cooperate him or her the same way. Otherwise there will be difficulties, otherwise there will be problems, misunderstandings. So it also indicates that any kind of past vulnerabilities or past fears or insecurities will also get activated during this particular time, and you need to work on it. That can be with respect to your work, that can be with respect to your partnership. Okay, so any past thing will might uh, require your attention to rectify it. You will definitely get the second chance to work on it, but you have to face it, you have to face the challenges, otherwise there will be misunderstandings even more growing during this particular time. Okay, another thing is that eighth house is a moksha trikon house, so you will have the experience or like interest in the knowledge or wisdom of occult, religious or spiritual upliftment or awakening or something like that. You might get knowledge or help from your preceptors regarding this kind of pursuits. Okay, but you have to understand one thing, that Jupiter is your second lord and fifth lord. Any matter related to new wealth related decision, financial decision, investments, or any matter related to speculation, or where there is a chance of possibility or probability, anything related to this kind of things, I will say that you should be very careful, because Jupiter is retrograde in the 8th house. So sudden loss of money can also be seen if it is somehow associated with speculation. Okay, that I can see, because Jupiter is retrograde in the 8th house. It is moving into the 8th house. So you have to understand one thing, that sudden loss of wealth can also be seen. The same way you are going to get help from your partner's wealth, or partner is supporting you, people are supporting you. Okay, but again at the same time, your own wealth, your own money, the family's wealth, the family money, if you are not managing it properly, then the budget, the finances might get disrupted. So don't get into any kind of work where there is a chance of speculation. Like suppose someone is getting into gambling, someone is getting into any kind of addiction, someone who is getting into any kind of work, there is a where there is a chance of loss of money, please don't do it, or else there will be problems. Okay, your finances might get disrupted. These are very important things you need to be careful about. Okay, another thing is that uh, uh, health of your children has to be taken care of during this particular transit of Jupiter. At certain times you might also feel fatigue, like because of some traveling or very some traveling, because I can see those kind of things. So avoid travels during this transit of Jupiter. If it is means not really necessary, avoid any long distance travels, or else it will be leading to some fatigue, or means you might feel that okay, it was not so much fruitful. Okay, so these are the things we need to be taken care of for these Scorpio ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For these Sagittarius ascendant people, Jupiter is transiting in the retrograde mode in the seventh house in the sign of Gemini. Now, this is the house of partnership, marriage, married life, relationship, okay, bonding with other people. So, first of all, I would say that this is a very favorable time period for getting into marriage life, or relationship, partnership, contracts, okay. Any past matters related to relationship, partnership, or marriage life will be resolved, or you might get a second chance to resolve it, reconcile with your partner. Okay, so your understanding levels will be improved far more better, because for this Sagittarius ascendant, Jupiter is the ascendant lord itself, and it is transiting in the house of partnership. So this is a time to cooperate your partner, and also be ready to take support and cooperation from your partner. So do not get into ego, do not get into that attitude matter. Okay, so make sure that you are in the house of partnership, so you have to be very cooperative, very supportive towards your partner, so that will give you very good results. And ultimately, since Jupiter is transiting in the 7th house in the retrograde mode, so any matter, any past matter related to your partnership, related to your health of your partner, will be resolved. Yes, regarding health, I will say that some health matters will be all of a sudden revived, but it will definitely go towards the solution, it will definitely resolved with time. Okay, so do not fear the situation, just face the things. Okay, with proper communication, and ultimately you will see the things are going to give you very good results. Okay. Now here one important thing is that since seventh house is the house of other people, you will have gains support from other people, and the mutual relationship between you and them will improve. This is not only with respect to your husband, wife, or girlfriend or boyfriend. It can be any other person, okay, in the public life, because seventh house is the house of other people. See, as I said regarding the cooperation, I can also see that at certain times you will definitely need the other people's assistance, okay, in your work, in your day-to-day life. So, in your personal life, suppose if you are in any kind of relationship, you will see that do not allow your ego to come between you and your partner. And the people who are not into a relationship or partnership, for them I will say this is a very good time when they can get into a relationship or partnership, okay, or they will be getting help and support from other people. Means it can be any other people, okay, because seventh house is the house of any other people with whom we are binding, with whom we are having some kind of bond, okay. During this particular time you will see that you are going to get good results with respect to your like civil suits or legal things will be in your support, okay. You are going to get good assistance from your lawyers, okay, or the people who are helping you out, okay. In all those regards you are going to get very good results, and you will see that you are getting more than your dues. Means suppose you are expecting something, you are getting more than that. So at times you will be enjoying the life, okay. Now since Jupiter loses that directional strength in the seventh house, so sometimes what happens that we get into over indulgence. So you might also definitely get help and support from the people of opposite gender, but do not overindulge, otherwise it might also reflect other behavior, other nature of your life, other personality of your life, which might not be so much friendly with your own partner or partnership, which can actually create conflict. So do not get into any like extramarital things, or do not get into anything related to which can challenge your loyalty, which can challenge your sincerity towards your spouse or towards your partner, okay. So these are the things, otherwise this can lead you to some kind of troubles, okay. One more thing I will say here is that you might get into like business proposal or expansion with a person living in foreign or living far away from you, or it can be related to a client or business expansion in some foreign places, okay. um, Another thing is that since Jupiter will be aspecting your third house and 11th house and your first house, so your social communication, social surrounding will also improve, and you will have that proper knowledge, wisdom, and philosophical ideas regarding how to connect with your own work, personal life, and materialistic upliftment and development is concerned. So you will also have the idea to how to improve your business, how to improve your work in order to have multiple gains in your life. So this is a very good transit for the people who are self-employed, who are doing any work on their own, the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the people who are particularly focused on their own creative pursuits. So for them it is a very good particular transit, I will say. um, Another thing is that since Jupiter is transiting in the seventh house, you will see that you will also be happy with to spend time with your partner, okay. So overall in the married life or overall in the relationship, this is a very good time of happiness, comfort, luxury, okay. So it will improve the luck and fortune with respect to the cordial bonding, cordial relationship is concerned. So that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people, okay. So make the most out of it. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your sixth house in the sign of Gemini. Now, this particular transit of Jupiter for the Capricorn ascendant people has to be taken care of, because certain things are good, certain things are quite difficult. So, I will say this is a quite like average transit. Let me discuss each and everything. See, when it comes to work and fulfillment of duties, this is a very good transit, because you will be too much focused regarding your work, and you will be definitely going towards fulfillment of your duties, responsibilities at your work. You will also focus on the orders and rules and regulations which are given to you by your superiors and authorities. So this will also maintain a good rapport between you and your superiors. Okay, that is definitely good with respect to your personal growth is concerned, with respect to your career, your growth and everything. But here we have to also understand that Jupiter is moving back from your seventh house into the sixth house, and sixth house is the house of problems. So that means any pending work or any work which was not done properly or anything which was expected from you with respect to your own service, with respect to your own responsibilities and duties are concerned at your service, at your job, which was not done properly, all of a sudden you might get confronted because of that. All of a sudden you might feel that okay, oh, I have to complete it. Means until now it was not taken care of, but now I will be have to working hard for it, or else there will be problem. So this is also a time where you have to face your fears, face your challenges, or you are bound to do it. Means it is just like that, if I am not doing it now, then it will be like now or never like situation. Okay, so it is just like a time of boundness also, and you will be feeling it. Now this becomes even more important because previously Saturn was retrograde, but now Saturn has also turned direct, and Saturn is transiting in your third house, and third house is efforts. So here Saturn, which is your ascendant lord, is also asking you to focus on your work, focus on your duties and responsibilities. So now your own ascendant lord, means your own mind and thought process, is also pushing you towards your work. And now Jupiter is also retrograde in the sixth house. So that means anything which was pending from your end, you are bound to do it. And if you don't do it, means not only the officials, superiors, or your employer, but also you by yourself will also feel that maybe I have not been able to focus more, or maybe I am not up to the mark, or maybe I could have done better. Okay, so at your personal level also you will be having that problem of satisfaction. Okay, so more perfectly you work on all these things, you will get better results. Now since I say that you'll be able to do any kind of work or fulfillment of your duties, this also indicates that as you are able to complete your work, this will also bring that growth in your life, because sixth house is the upachya bhav, it grows slowly. Okay, it will bring growth, progress in your life in the direction which is indicated in your career and work. You might also get job like opportunity. The people who are searching for a job, the people who are searching for an employment for last few months, or they have been doing efforts but they were not getting it, they will also get any kind of information regarding their career, work and job is concerned. Now that can be related to any past organization also, any like employers or any superiors of their previous company might also get might also like connect them or contact them regarding their employment. Okay, so new job or service can be a possibility during this particular time. But I will definitely say that since sixth house is also the house of disease and illness, if you are going through any kind of health issues during this particular time, all of a sudden you might experience some kind of troubles regarding your sickness, regarding your illness. Now that also particularly from the any matter related to the lower abdomen, it can be related to intestines or kidneys or anything related to the lower abdomen. Okay, the people who are going through any matter related to pancreas or liver or thyroid, or suppose for the women I will be talking about, if they are going through anything related to like hormonal health, for them also I will say that this particular transit even becomes more important, because those matters can revive all of a sudden. Yes, definitely with time it will be resolved, the problems will be resolved, the sickness and illness will be resolved, but initially some troubles will be there. You might also feel that you are getting surrounded by the people, or the co-workers or the colleagues are there who are not supporting, who are always creating some kind of troubles for you. You might also feel that okay, I'm surrounded by enemies, by my rivals and competitors, and everyone is thinking me about my, like I am their competition. So in that kind of competitive arena, you will be like, you might feel that okay, it is very difficult for me to work. At times you might also feel like that, but I will say that this is just like a challenge for you, since you have not done certain things which you should have had done previously. So this is a time to just focus on your work. And yes, definitely, since Jupiter is aspecting your second house and 12th house also, make sure that you do not share some extra information. Keep your secrets to yourself, otherwise it might lead you to some kind of problems. Any matter related to legalities, law, or like civil suits, or all those matters can all of a sudden get activated. So during this particular time, you should also be very careful that some expenditures can be seen, some money losses can be seen. So maintain your budget also during this particular transit of Jupiter in the sixth house. So that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your fifth house in the sign of Gemini, and I will say it's a very good transit of Jupiter for all the Aquarius ascendant people, because you will see that you are able to express yourself like never before. It will grow with respect to your optimistic ideas, positivity, and you will be focusing on your ambitions, goals, and life purpose more evidently. You will be motivated like never before. Okay, because in your day-to-day life you will be able to take the decisions properly, and anything in your past which was not resolved, now you will be able to work smartly on it, intelligently on all those aspects. This transit of Jupiter will particularly focus on your creative self-expression, and that also with respect to confidence, courage, making you more expressive, and that also without selfishness. So this is also a time of expressing your knowledge, your wisdom, and at the same time going through learning process. So this is a symbiotic process, I would say, and helping others, and also getting help from the knowledge and wisdom. You will also get help from your preachers, your preceptors, guides, mentors. Okay, and this is also very good time to learning the mantras, ancient scriptures. Okay, or means religious rituals and customs, I would say. So go through the religious learning, go through the mantras, and go through the worship, okay, of the deities, which, like suppose your ishta devata, or any particularly planetary deity you want to go through the mantras. Okay, so it's a very good transit for the Aquarius ascendant people in all those respect. If I talk about work, career, and creativity, then this is the time for all the people who are into self employment, or who are actually working on their creative skills regarding their learning, regarding their literary pursuits, publishing, writing, verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay, in which they are thinking to getting into connected with other people, particularly working in a group, working in a close circles, network circles, in a project. In all those sectors you will be able to focus through your creative talent, your knowledge, and you will also able to learn new things from that. So it is a process. You will see that sometimes the work will be slow, because learning things and identifying the right knowledge and solutions takes time. So this is a time when your self independence mode will be at its highest form. So at times you might also feel that there is some kind of disinterest at your work, or disinterest at your career, or at your job, because you might feel that okay, your that creative skills, or your own way of creatively expressing your ideas and thoughts is getting more prominence. So the people who are thinking to getting into a business, or getting into some kind of entrepreneurship, or working on their own to start a work, to start anything, any business on their own, or those who are self-employed, for them this is a very good transit. Okay, so change of work is identified, transformative changes, I would say. like you have been working something else before, and now you want to change your work. Now you are feeling that okay, I'm totally disinterested in those kind of work. Let me change the job, let me change the methodology in which I am working. So this kind of changes can come, but initially it can be frustrating also, because you might feel that okay, I'm not feeling too much good about my work, but if I leave the work, then there is a financial issue, there is a money issue. This thing can also be coming in your mind. Okay, but I will definitely say that this transformation is going to be good for you, because the next change which is going to come, which will be beneficial, which will bring gains in your life. And since Jupiter is activating your 11th house, it will also fulfill your desires, that is your own talent, your own hobbies, your own creativity will get that exposure. So this is also a very good time to express yourself innovatively, and going to get best results for that. So particularly, as I said, for the people who are self-employed, so they will see that they are able to multitask through their own talent, and also have opened the ways for multiple sources of gains in their life. Jupiter will be activating your first house and ninth house. So it will make you very wise, philosophical, and like a problem solver. You will be able to identify your own decision makings, like reinventing yourself. Okay, like optimistic ideas that yes, I can face the challenges, I can get this, I can do this. And you will also get guidance from your preceptors, guides, guru. You will also get proper mentorship, okay, regarding that work. And you will definitely have some good bonding between your father and you, between your guru and you. So at your family level also, it is a very good particular transit. The people like, suppose the couples who are thinking for a family planning or expecting a child, for them this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial for their family planning and birth of child. Okay, and overall I will say that this is also a very good time for your children. Like suppose all of a sudden you will see that their mind is broadening, but at the same time they might also get a bit more proud. Means I'm talking about your children, means you might feel they are getting more proud because of this transit of Jupiter in the fifth house. So you have to manage the things accordingly. Another thing is that love relationships will arrive in your life during this particular time. Or if you are, suppose you are already in a love relationship, then it will get even more intense. So bonding, communication skill, love and romance will improve in your life with respect to your partnership, or with respect to a new ventures which might knock the door in your life during this particular time. Okay, so I will say that during this transit of Jupiter, you should focus on the positive sectors of your decision making, which can motivate you, and avoid anything related to ego, anything which can make you selfish, or anything which can create conflicts. Just avoid that. Otherwise, you will see that the whole transit of particular this transit of Jupiter is going to give you very good results. And one more thing I will say, that during this transit of Jupiter, you can also get sudden gain, sudden support from anyone who is superior, who is authoritative, or it can be related to government also. It can be related to, like suppose, some kind of support, some kind of like favors, okay, from your employers, or it can be something from your superiors also. Okay, so this thing can be seen this particular transit of Jupiter. Okay, gain of knowledge, success overall. So make the most out of it. That's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Jupiter is retrograde in your fourth house in the sign of Gemini. So this transit of Jupiter in the retrograde mode, I will say that this is a time when you will think of everything which can bring peace and security in your life. So any matter in your past which had happened, so now you will be able to resolve it. And but initially it will get revived. Any matters in the past with respect to your domestic matters, family matters, will get, all of a sudden you will see that the things are getting revived. So you have to face it, and it will go towards resolution. So you will do everything to make the domestic space, your homely environment, towards peace and security. So this will enhance your mental security, peace of mind. Your home, family, personal life, property, conveyance or conveniences of any sort, any matter related to those things will be coming in front front of you and you will be able to focus on it. Like suppose, I'm just giving you an example, like suppose fourth house, it is transiting in the fourth house, and fourth house also relates to anything related to luxury, comforts or conveniences. Let us take an example of vehicle. Like suppose your car is not been serviced, okay, or there is some problem in your car and you have not given too much importance to it. Now you have to give importance, you have to focus on it, or else some major problems can be there. Or you can see that the car is getting breakdown every time, so you might feel that, oh, I have to do it, previously I have not given the attention but now I have to give it, in all those matters. But since Jupiter is retrograde in the fourth house, it means that the moment you think to work on it, it will go towards success. Only you have to put that effort, only you have to put that mind in it. Why? Because Jupiter is an ascendant lord for the Pisces ascendant people. It is you yourself, so it is like your own thought process has to work on it and you are going to get good results for that. This will also improve the bonding between you and your mother. Okay, take care regarding the health of your mother, because mother's health will also show some kind of revival regarding their means illness or sickness also. Okay, something might come up, but since Jupiter is retrograde, so more you take care of her, more you will see that things are going to be more better. So it is coming to resolve the problems. Okay, and until and unless you face it, the problems will not be resolved. Okay, so these are the things which needs to be taken care of. Suppose any property related matters, like it can be related to sale or acquirement of property, or making some additional alterations to your house, or like expanding your environment, any matter related to that which you are thinking to do since many months or maybe from past. Okay, so now you will be able to do it, you will be able to make the alterations, you will be able to acquire the property or buying or selling a property which you had been thinking from past. So now you will be able to do it, and also you will have gain and acquisition of conveyances if you want. Okay, like you see, anything which was pending, anything which was paused, anything which was not moving, all things regarding your fourth house will be taken care of. That can be related to your happiness, it can be related to luxury, comforts, conveyance or conveniences. Overall domestic bliss and happiness is seen. Now since retrograde motion is happening in the fourth house, it means that you have to put your efforts in order to make sure, but the moment you think that yes, I will do it, it will go towards success for sure. And one more thing, Jupiter here will also bring support from your family, so it is also your responsibility to reciprocate that generosity, that support. Okay, and Jupiter happens to be your 10th lord and it is coming in the fourth house. So the people who is working like from far away from their home, all of a sudden they might get a transfer towards their native place, towards their home, or it is also a time when they might get a chance for like work from home or working at their own ease, working at their own working hours, like their own support system. Okay, so in all those sectors this transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial, I would say. And like moving towards the homely environment, moving towards the near and dear ones. So overall this is a transit of mental happiness, mental peace, security and overall prosperity and bliss in your environment. So in all those sectors this particular transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. You will see your moksha trikon is getting activated, so this is also a time of spiritual awakening, spiritual bliss. So you will get that time and space in order to involve into that spiritual way of life, which is a good thing. That is the most important thing, because until unless you get that time and space, how will you get involved? So here Jupiter will give you that space, Jupiter will give you that time, that mental peace and security, that you are able to also get into spiritual awakening, spiritual growth. So spiritual pursuits, ancient knowledge or religious knowledge will be highly beneficial during this particular time. Okay, I can also see pilgrimage, I, I can also see like religious pursuits during this particular time. Okay, so if you are thinking you are getting time, then you should definitely think about that also, it will give you very good results. Okay. And another thing is that during this particular time Since it is happening in the fourth house, even if you are like staying in solitude or staying in isolation, you will be always be surrounded by people. You will be like never feel alone. You will always get support. You will get have a proper support system. So at the mental level, you will see that you are getting surrounded by people. So the kind of work which you are doing, which if it requires solitude, if it requires some kind of isolation, then that work might get slowed or delayed. It will depend upon the kind of situation where we are in, but definitely I will say that with respect to mental support is concerned, this transit of Jupiter is highly beneficial. So suppose you are going through some kind of mental anxiety, or suppose you are going through some kind of stress or tension in your career, work, or personal life, then this transit of Jupiter will be definitely supportive to you. It will work like a natural therapy, it will work like a natural healer or healing in every aspect of your life. Okay. But yes, since fourth house is also the house of comfort and luxury, so work might get delayed, work might get slowed down, but it will definitely taken care of with time. But you don't need to worry regarding that. But yes, that is also an avenue to look upon. So that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. Make the most out of it. So that's it from my side. I hope you have liked this content. If you really like this content, press the like button, share it to your near and dear ones, and your comments are always welcome to me. I will again request, if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new content, you get notified instantly. And if you want a consultation, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. So next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some another interesting content. So till then, I am signing off for today, thanking you. Bye bye.